All right. It's the American accent that gets me.
Hang on. Oh,
Hang on.
yes, yeah, we're on. We're live. So, hi everybody, and welcome to Baby to Sleep's 12 Days of Christmas. Today, I'm joined by Jessica from Southdown Duvets. Now, I'm going to pass you over to Jessica in a minute to tell you a little bit about what she does, but I want to obviously explain why, because this might be one that you'd think, well, it's about babies and children, and why have you got duvets and things like that on? And actually, something that really struck with me is I went to bed one night and I was thinking, I'd really love there to be a charity or something that we could actually use this 12 Days of Christmas to promote. And the next day, I got a letter. I say a letter, it's the newsletter basically, because I actually have one of the Southdown Duvets myself from years gone by when I did have money once upon a time. So I get the lovely newsletters that come through, and basically in it was they're literally she's put together, I'll let her tell you all about it, but they've put together a lovely little book of all the blogs and things like that, and she's raising money to help the big issue, which I think is absolutely incredible. And it was just the fact that it landed on my doorstep literally the day after I'd been thinking about it, and I thought, this is somebody I need to contact. So I'm going to hand you over to Jessica to tell you a bit more about things. So yeah, go for it.
Well, a little bit, Nicola, about the newsletter itself. As a person who is online buying stuff and I'm doing retail, I absolutely abhor the moment I buy something being bombarded with marketing feedback, and then the emails, and it all arrives. And when you buy something else, if you use another company, it all arrives through the post, and there's all the stuff on the doorstep, and it's this heavy sell all the time, which actually turns me off completely. So when someone buys one of my duvets, I leave them alone. But once a year, I write a personal letter. And I think it comes through in the letter. And that is the only time I make contact with my customers. And the response is absolutely incredible. I've just come off the telephone with a lady who bought a duvet almost 10 years ago. And she said that letter brought tears to my eyes, and you made my day. And that then makes my day, and it all works really, really well. And it sort of fits in with my relationship with the big issue, because what I've been doing for the last 4.5 years is writing a weekly blog, which is published in the big issue, alongside an advertisement for the duvets and the rest of the other wool products that we're doing, because we do pillows and we do mattress covers as well. And in the blog, I don't talk about bedding. I don't talk about the biodegradability of it, and the fact that wool bedding, it wicks and it does all the those are all the technical issues that in fact my customers find out later. What I talk about in the blog is anything that bloomin' well pops into my head on the day. And it all quite often happens when I'm just rushing across a field talking to the sheep. So what it is it's a kind of really personal musing about the world. And very often, because I'm on a farm, I'm talking about my animals, because I live with over 100 animals, and they're completely bonkers, and they're completely spontaneous, and every single day there is some material to write about. They are completely hilarious. And I say Primrose Farm is where the inmates run the asylum, because this is what I feel like. And of course, as a human, there's only one human here, and that's me. I live on my own. And people say, don't you get lonely? And I just say, look around you, all these crazy sheep and whatever, and the dogs, the cats and the turkeys and the hens. And that's just the domestic stuff. There's all the wildlife as well. So the blogs are really just a reflection of me and how I live with these animals. And the serious side of it is when you go farming, you find that you're no longer in control of your life. So I came from the City of London. I was in the financial sector for nearly 30 years. where I was running a company and completely in control with absolutely everything that I did, you know, cash flow projections and deadlines and human resources and everything. And I had this mind map of my company, and I was in control. Came farming, and suddenly, you know, there's this bigger picture that says, no, you're not in control at all. And if you can actually cede that control and realize you let go, it's the most liberating, grounding, you know, in the moment thing, which is just so healthy. And I think so many people need to be able to say, I'm going to let go. I'm just going to let go.
Were you saying that then? Actually, just, it's one of them things as a parent, as a new parent to a baby.
Yeah,
that is so relatable.
Absolutely.
Because we are perfectionists. We want to get things right. We think we are in control of that situation. And actually, we're really, really not.
No, and in fact,
you are able to enjoy the ride a little bit more.
Absolutely. And what I found with my own son was actually he taught me. It was, and he showed me the way, because I was a new mum and absolutely bloomin' clueless, and had read all the books, of course, etc., blah, blah, blah. Chucked the books away and said, let my son show me. And he did. And you know, that was part of the bonding. You know, and I just remember I was fortunately, because I was working when I had my baby, I had a nanny who was absolutely fantastic. And my son Cameron was one of the hungry boys, and he was feeding every hour. So, I mean, I was getting no sleep during the night because I fed him. And I mean, I'm sure some of your listeners will know all about this. By the time I settled him, I got half an hour sleep before he was yowling for another meal. And Annie, the nanny, said to me, you know, and the doctors were saying, oh, you know, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you can't do this, blah, 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 blah. And he said, Jessica, do the doctors have to get up for him every hour? No. Pop some cereal into his milk. I said, but he's much too young for that. I said, you know, all the books say you can't do this. He's only 10 weeks, for goodness. She said, just do it. And that was the end of my problem. Cameron slept through the night from then on. He settled completely. And in fact, he was just...
say one other thing, though. Please don't anybody do that.
I know. You know,
evidence has come out since that's not good.
Do you know what? He survived and allowed me to survive, because I was falling apart. But it's just an example of really just don't take things too seriously. Just let go and let it all just ride out. And this is what we're doing here in this book, is we've put together a collation of what we thought were our kind of nicest blogs. And we put them together for people just to say, this is how we chill out. And when I find I chill out, in fact, so much comes right. And that's why, you know, we've called it Laughing with the Lambs. If you saw me, Nicola, in the lambing barn, and I'm not talking about obviously human babies, but the whole thing about sheep babies is a completely different world. And I can tell you stories about that, where you know, you've again read all the books and you've taken all of the advice, but you're 3 a.m. and you're presented with a twin and it's all malpresented and she's straining and she's in stress and you just got to get on with it. And something sort of takes over in your life and you just think, the outcome will be what it is, and I'm going to do my thing and I'm going to do my best. And then when you relax into that, you realize it's going to be okay. And most times it is, you know, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Your blogs, though, they're not for children, though. There's one thing I need to actually say. This book is not for children. It's funny.
No, but here's one I prepared earlier. I've written children's stories, which we've published, and they're called the Mamaloo Stories. And it's about this old woman farmer in Devon. You know, of course, you haven't met her, but it's again for children, and it's all about relating to animals, relating to farms, relating to the whole cosmos and the whole thing.
Brilliant.
And it's sweet. And we had Rebecca Day from the Toad Hall Company actually illustrate with just these sweet drawings that she does of a bumblebee and a pig and whatever. So the Mamaloo stories are there, and it's a very interesting thing. I gave a copy to a friend of mine who is a psychologist, and her speciality is dealing with young children who have been through trauma. And she said, one of my stories there is perfect for her therapy, because it's showing children how to accept bad things happening as a memory, but being able to put it in its right context. And of course, I wrote that without thinking about doing this, but it's there. And in fact, when I go back and read the story, it is there. It's a comforting, really comforting story for a child who might have been frightened by almost, anything, whatever. So
I'll have to give us a link to that as well, and we'll put a link to where people.
Yeah. I've been writing all my life, so this is what is. It just pops out of my head.
Yeah. So Laughing with Lambs, then. So this is all your funny blogs, your everyday stories and everything like that. You've managed to put them together, you've collated them, and you've put them into a book so you can raise money for the big issue.
Exactly. So we wrote our annual letter to all our lovely duvet customers and said, this is a one-off ask. We know that the big issue readers have had, vendors have had an awful year with lockdown, because the high streets were closed. They couldn't sell their magazines, and this is what keeps them going. And the big issue were fantastic because they put quite a lot into subscription based, and they did fundraising, but it still was really tough. I mean, we all had it tough, but the big issue vendors, really did battle. So we thought, if we can just put a little bit back and get a wider readership of these blogs, why not? Because, the copy's there. Some of them are bittersweet, some of them are funny, some of them are quite bonkers. But it's really, hopefully, you can just pick it up when you're feeling down, have a read, put it down and say, yeah, feeling a bit better about this lot. It's just that you can dip in. Yeah. And in a way, you're going to get to know me, because I write from the heart. It's just who I am.
So where can people buy Laughing with the Lambs?
Well, you can come onto our website, southdownduvets.com. You can give us a ring and we can order online. We are going to start a social media campaign through Facebook and Twitter. And so, yes, just contact us. We're always so happy to talk to people. One of the things about retail that really gets me at the moment is it's also automated, and you can't talk to a human.
Some companies, you can't even find a phone number.
Yeah, no, but our phone number's on our website. We will answer the phone. We will talk to you. We're quite happy to do that. It's sort of really going back to basics, because everything we've been through with COVID lockdown, and now we're going through all the worrying stuff about climate change and everything. We are all just human. We are all in this together. And in fact, we've all got these sort of common goals and worries. And if we can share them, it's so much easier.
Yeah. That's absolutely fantastic. So if people want to get an idea so the books, by the way, just how much is the book?
Oh, the Laughing with the Lambs, it's £12 for one book, and we're doing it for £20 for two, and people are just buying packs. And the idea is it's just a great Christmas present,
Absolutely. So if people want to have an idea of what's in the book, they can go and find your blogs, can't they?
Yeah.
And they're on your website?
The blogs are on the website, but not all the blogs are in the book, and there are probably blogs in the book that aren't on the website, because we sort of chop and change. But it will give readers a flavour and an idea of what we're all about. And when I say, inmates running the asylum, I mean it.
So what I'm going to say to everybody is go over to Southdown Duvets, have a look on the website, have a look at the blog. If you want to get a good book, have a good laugh, feel good about things, and feel a bit better about yourself as well by giving a bit to charity all at the same time, take a look and obviously get yourself one of these books. I think it's going to be absolutely fantastic. And I'm just so thrilled. I always believe that everything happens for a reason. And it was just, for me, that moment of, yes, I'd really like this, and to wake up the next day and it sort of just land there, I went, yeah, this is what I want to do. This is somebody I want to talk to. This is somebody I want to actually help promote. So absolutely fantastic. So take a look over to Southdown Duvets, have a look at the Facebook page, Twitter by the sounds of it as well. What's your Twitter tag?
Oh, Twitter tag is Southdown. It's just, I don't know, you know,
on the website, click the Twitter button.
Nicola, you've got to understand, I'm well into my 60s and the social media stuff is, oh my God.
I'm sure it's on your website somewhere.
It is, yes, we are, and the whole Instagram thing, and it is all there. It's all, go to the website.
I'll tell you what, we'll get it and we'll put it on the link for you. We'll put it on.
You're very kind. You've helped an old lady out of a hole.
We'll sort it out, don't you worry. Thank you so much for joining us, Jessica. It's been absolutely lovely chatting to you. And I wish you all the best success with the book as well.
And likewise with you, Nicola.
Thank you. See you later.